Hello and welcome to another practice. Thank you so much for joining me here for another Vinyasa style flow. Today we are going to be flowing through some sun salutations. We're going to be looking at some bunny hops to handstand with an option of handstand there for those who want it. But if you don't want it or it's not for you, then you're going to have lots of other options to choose from. So I definitely recommend having a block for this practice, or having two blocks actually. If you don't have blocks, you could use books instead, or get creative with what you've got around the house. So we're going to start the class today coming into a child's pose, so making your way there. So exhaling and sitting the hips down towards the heels and just allowing the forehead and the chest to melt down to the ground. Closing off your eyes or taking a steady gaze. Allowing everything to relax and let go. Observing your breath. Where your breath is traveling to within your body. Can you feel your breath in the belly, the back of the body, the sides? What does your breath feel like today? And keeping the eyes closed, if that feels good, to start to walk the hands over to the right, finding that nice stretch into the left side of the body. Breathing here. Now starting to walk the hands back through center over to the left side, stretching into the right side body. Sending your breath into that area. Walk the hands back to center. Opening the eyes now, lifting the hips away from the heels. Find your way back to tabletop position. Coming in to thread the needle ground through your right hand. Thread your left arm underneath. Bring the left side of the head down to the mat. Reach the right fingertips up to the sky. You can keep that hand down if you need to. Feeling that opening into the body. An option to thread the right arm around now. See if you can find the left thigh with that right hand. No worries if you can't. Don't force anything. Unraveling now, right hand comes down to the mat, presses away to support you to come out. We'll come onto the other side, so grounding through the left hand, right hand threads underneath. Right side of the head comes down to the mat, the left arm reaches up to the sky. Feeling that nice twist here. Really stretching into these muscles in the upper back as well. Option to thread that left hand around to the right thigh. Keep that breath flowing. And starting to unravel, bring the left hand to the ground to support you, coming out. And inhale, send the gaze out in front, open across the chest. Start to come through a couple of cat and cows. Exhale, rounding the spine, drawing the belly button in. Inhale, shining the heart forwards. Moving with your breath. Let your breath lead the movement. This is a breath-led practice. Making your cat and cow into whatever you want to make it into today. So maybe you start to take some circles here, going in one direction, coming back the other way as well. So maybe you're starting to move the hips a little bit, circling the spine. Move in a way that feels good for you today. Come back to a neutral position. And we're going to walk the hands forwards now. So walking the hands forwards, hips are staying above the knees. Exhale, dropping the chest and the forehead down towards the mat, finding our Anna puppy pose. Don't know what's happening to my words today. Well, I'm not going to edit that part out so that you can see that I am human just like you. So breathing here, melting the heart down towards the mat, opening into the shoulders, the upper back, the cervical part of the spine. Inhale, walk the hands back in so that they're underneath the shoulders. Tuck your toes under from here and see if you can jump the feet in, bringing the feet to the outside of the hands, toes pointing out, and sit the hips down, finding a malasana with yogic squat. And you could have a block under the hips here. You could roll the mat up, tuck that under your heels if you need to. Lifting the crown of the head towards the ceiling, space across the chest. Engage your mula bandha, your root lock. Engage your pelvic floor, the muscles at the seat of the pelvis. And start to ground through the feet. Can you power up through the legs, coming up to standing? Walk the feet in so they're roughly hip width apart in our Tadasana mountain pose. Inhale, reach your fingertips up to the sky, lift your ribs away from the hips. Exhale, hinging from the hips, fold forwards. Soften the legs as much as you need to. Inhale, lift the chest and lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down to the mat, step or jump back, finding your plank position. Work through your version of chaturanga, inhaling into upward facing dog or cobra. And exhaling back to your downward facing dog. Hips reaching towards the sky. Remember, the legs don't have to be straight here. The priority is actually the spine. So really getting that length in the spine. So that means bending the legs for you, then that could be a really great place to be in the downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze comes between the hands, step or jump the feet in, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the fingertips back up to the sky, grow your spine tall. Exhale, bring the hands through to heart center. Inhale, reach the fingertips back up to the sky, lift the ribs away from the hips. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift the chest and lengthen the spine. Exhale, hands come down to the mat, step or jump back, work through your chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling back to your downward facing dog. You can always take a child's pose at any time. Reconnect with your breath. Send your awareness into the body, noticing what's there, what's alive for you today. No judgment, just accepting whatever comes up. Inhale, gaze between the hands, step or walk the feet in, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands reach up to the sky, lifting up and out from the waist. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, sit the hips back, find your Utkatasana. Belly's coming away from the thighs. Really drawing that energy in from the earth, through the feet, into the legs. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift the chest and lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down to the mat, step or jump the feet back to plank. Work through your chaturanga, inhaling into upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling back to downward facing dog. Pressing the mat away with your hands. Try and relax the head as much as you can. You can take a little shake it through the head as well in your downward facing dog. And that can sometimes help us to notice if we are holding anything here. From here, we're going to inhale, sweep your right leg up to the sky. Find your three-leg dog. Option to open the hip, but you don't have to. Keep the shoulders and the arms really nice and strong. You can come up onto the left toes if you need to when you're doing this. Now we're going to sweep this right foot in and through between the hands. Reach the fingertips up to the sky. Find your high lunge. Lifting up and out from the waist, making that space. Exhale, hands come through to heart center. Power into this right leg. Finding a warrior three. Press the left foot out behind, strong through that standing right leg, hips are square. Breathing here, taking your hands on blocks if you need to. This could be a good chance to grab some blocks or a block. And then from our warrior three, we're gonna reach the right hand to a block or to the mat, only into the side plane of the body. Find your half moon. Left fingertips reaching up to the sky, follow with the gaze. Stay with your breath. Well done, you're doing great. If you come out, just meet us back in the pose when you're ready. And then we're gonna float this left arm down to the mat, keeping that left leg floating back. Hips are either again squaring off here, or you're going to open them up. So we're finding our standing split. So we're working towards these hands coming in and the forehead's coming towards the right shin. Maybe this right arm's wrapping around the right leg as we send the left leg up to the sky. Standing split. Stay with your breath. And now lifting the chest slightly, hands coming down to the mat, bending through the right leg, step that left foot back, step the right foot back, finding your plank position, and Vinyasa. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling, back to your downward facing dog. Nice. And we're opening into this hip space, which we are quite a bit today. we're looking at Svadhisthana, second chakra. This is our energy center, located in the hip area. This is connected to our water element, our creativity, our expression, our emotions. It's all about how we flow with life. So now we're going to inhale, sweep the left foot up to the sky this time. Find your three-leg dog. Keep the arms and the shoulders nice and strong. Sweep the left foot through, bring the foot between the hands, reach the fingertips up to the sky. Lift up and out from the pelvis, growing the spine tall. From here, hands to heart center. Bring the weight into that left foot, finding your warrior three. Hands could come to blocks here. Flex your right foot, press that right foot out behind, hips are square, shining towards the ground. Making any modifications that you need. And then we're going to open out again to our half moon. So left hand comes to the mat or a block, and the right arm reaches up towards the sky. See if you can follow with your gaze, the gaze coming to the ceiling. Breathing here. Opening this right hip. And then floating the right hand back down, walking those hands in, finding our standing split. An option to either keep both hands grounded. You could have the hands on blocks as well if you want to give yourself some more space, or you're going to wrap that left arm around the left leg and draw your forehead in towards the left shin as the right leg reaches up to the sky. Nice, well done. Walk the hands out slightly, bend through your left leg, step that right foot back, step both feet back, finding your plank position and vinyasa. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling back to your downward facing dog. Or taking a child's pose if you need to. And then from here, you're either going to take a child's pose, if that's what you're ready for, or we're going to take some bunny hops to handstand. So just making sure that the hands are roughly shoulder width apart. The fingers are nice and evenly spread. And you're going to walk the feet in slightly, taking some bend through the legs. And from here, seeing if you can take some little hops. So aiming to take about 5 of these. Coming up into your handstand if that's part of your practice. But no worries if it's not, just taking these little hops or big hops. And then when you're done, you're going to drop the knees down to the mat and exhale, sit the hips back, melt the body down, find your child's pose. So everybody coming and meeting in a child's pose here. Closing off the eyes if that feels good for you. Reconnecting with your breath, with your body. Noticing if your breath has got faster or slower. Just observing, noticing what's there. I'm going to open the eyes back up now and walk the hands in, draw the belly in, and bring your hips down to the mat. Grab your blocks. So we want to have the blocks to hand, just somewhere close to you. We're going to grab them in a minute. So, soles of the feet down on the mat to start with, and you can bring the hands behind the thighs or you can have them out in front. And really draw the belly in. Keep this space across the chest. Sit the hips back slightly and lift the feet away, finding our Navasana boat pose. Now from here, we're going to reach this right arm out to the side. Draw it back in. Reach the left arm out to the side. Draw it back in. Reach both arms out to the side. Draw them back in. Well done. Now coming out of our Navasana, just having some fun with this here, so no worries if you need to bring your hands down at any time. So I want you to bend this right leg and then see if you can place the right leg down on the mat, and then can you, without using your hands, hook your left leg over. So finding our Gomukhasana position with the legs. So my knees are stacked on top of each other. If you need to use your hands, just use them. So from here, we're going to inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, bend through the right arm, and send that right hand down the back. And then maybe the fingers are meeting each other behind your back. So we're getting an opening through this right arm. You can probably feel that nice stretch through the back of the arm, through the triceps. And we're also getting an internal rotation with this left shoulder. This is a really nice anti-desk stretch. So it's a nice stretch to do if you're sat at a desk a lot, if you're sat in the car a lot. And we're also taking a really deep stretch through the hips. For your Gomukhasana, if you need to have the bottom leg lengthened instead, you absolutely can. So take any modifications you need. Exhale, we're going to fold forward here. Again, only if this feels good to, keeping the spine long. Inhale, lift the chest, come back up to center. So unravel the arms. See if you can grab your blocks and place them somewhere to the side of you. And again, you can play with not using the arms here, but if you need to, you can. See if you can float your legs back to your Navasana boat pose. So we're going to add in something else here from what we just did before. So from your Navasana, reach your right arm out to the side. Draw it back in. Reach your left arm out to the side. Draw it back in. Reach both arms out to the side. Draw them back in. Place your hands on the blocks, whichever setting you want. Can you hook the legs and lift the bottom away from the mat? Keep breathing. And release, well done. Then from here, we'll come into our Gomukhasana on the other side. So this time we're going to bend the left leg and hook your right leg over the top. See if you can do it without hands, so don't worry if you can't. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky, lift up and out from the waist. Left hands coming down your back, so left arm's bending, and the right arm, maybe it's coming around and the fingertips are finding each other behind your back. You could also use the strap here and have your hands coming to a strap to give you more space. Make sure that you're growing the spine tall. We're using the core here as well to really stabilize. And then option to exhale and fold forwards, keeping the spine long, but only if this feels good to you. Don't force anything. Inhale, lift the chest, come back up to center. Unravel the arms And we're going to do our boat pose sequence one last time. So again, you can bring the hands down if you want to, or you can see if you can unravel the legs back to your boat pose, arms at the side. And last time, we'll reach that right arm out to the side. Draw it back in. Keep breathing, reach the left arm out to the side. Draw it back in. Reach both arms out to the side. Strong inner line of energy, draw them back in. Find your blocks, hands on the blocks. Can you hook the legs? Try and take the opposite hook to what you did last time. If you can, don't worry if not. And lift those hips away. Can you hold it here? Hips are lifting away from the mat. And release the hips back down. Rest the legs out in front, well done. Flexing the feet. Finding a neutral spine position. Inhale, reach the crown of your head to the ceiling. Exhale, fold over both legs, coming into our Paschimottanasana. Leading with the chest bone, staying up higher if that feels better for you. Sending your gaze inwards. Inhale, coming back up, lifting the chest away from the fold. And just bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees drop out to the side. And then we're going to bring the feet with the soles together, but slightly further away from the body. It's creating a diamond shape with the legs. Inhale here, reach the crown of the head to the ceiling. And then exhale, we're going to fold, and you can ground the spine here. And we're going to draw this forehead towards the feet. Butterfly. Inhale, slowly coming away from your fold, just coming back to comfortable seated position on the mat. Closing down the eyes for a moment. You can have the palms of the hands facing down, resting on the knees. Take a couple of breaths and let this practice absorb. You are exactly where you're meant to be right now. Open the eyes back up when you're ready, coming back into the physical body. As always, if you can take longer for a Shavasana or meditation here, I'd highly, highly recommend that you do so. Please do check out the information below about the other things that I offer, more in-depth classes, beginner-friendly practices, more advanced practices, short classes, long classes, live classes, one-to-ones. So yeah, do take a look at that. And do subscribe to this channel. Let me know how you're getting on. Really happy to hear from you. And I can't wait to see you again very soon. Bye-bye.